And welcome back one more time. We've got one more unboxing for today. One more video. Let's see. Oh, I guess I can get that open just fine. This one is going to be very different from the other ones because this one is going to have some... this is not... Okay, there we go. This is not a classic Rider White either, as we found out now. If you watch the other videos, the others weren't really either, except for one of them had a little bit of that same look. Look at the inside of that box there. That's already letting you know what we're in for. Tarot of the Unexplained. A guide to the cards. Dave Zilla is the name. We are not alone. And from what I read already, this is super interesting. You can see beautiful color on the cards, keeping a very similar purple, what do I want to call it? Symmetry over the whole deck, I guess. But she's a fan of knockers, okay. So you're already seeing Hunter of Knockers. We're seeing that these are fan of ghosts. Okay, these are different suits. So here I wanted to kind of challenge myself in that I usually am a fan of at least having it, if it's... Ooh, look at that gilding. Wow. If it's like wands or sticks or batons, chalices, cups, goblets... That's all close enough. Like I have the Labyrinth Tarot where it's poles and pots. I can get what a pole is a staff and a pot is a chalice, sure. But sometimes I get so abstract with it that you have no idea what it is. And so in going with that, here we have a deck where we have knockers, portals, ghosts, and what's the middle one here? I think UFOs or something. Anyway, none of those tells me anything about whether it's, cups or whatever. The Men in Black, here we go. So this is one about mysterious things that exist, like aliens, and I think I saw that jackalope in one of the cards. 00, the Ghost Stalker. So it's going to be interesting for me to work with this to see if I can get a hold of it, get a kind of grasp on what these are supposed to be. Is this going to tell me the Fool? It's already right off the bat kind of a strange one, isn't it? Here we have the Remote Viewer. Okay. What is he adding up on his page there, right? He does have the infinity symbol over his head, which does remind me of that magician. But I think most of these, the Bell Witch, no clue, right? La Llorona. Very interesting here, this story. Indrid Cold. See, what I do like, though, is they always have an astrology symbol, which, in case you have noticed, in my different whatever aesthetics, I am a big fan of astrology being incorporated into your reading. It is something that I like to ask, like, hey, what is your star sign? What's your rising sign? What's your sun sign? Because that helps to kind of get a feel for what are we doing, and I can appreciate that these cards are always going to have a star sign up above there. So as much as I don't know each star sign from looking at it like that, I'm pretty sure that I will get familiar with them here. The Nomo ship is number 7. So, okay, a spaceship, kind of like the Chariot, that's going to work. Here, however, the Jackalope for 5 or the Puka for 6. I don't know about the lovers, except that This is probably supposed to be Gemini. I feel like usually there's more coming up here, but whatever. Maybe it's supposed to be something else. I would guess it should be Gemini. But hey, I don't know everything, right? I just barely opened this deck. 8, Redemption. 9, very beautiful card here with the Yeti, which I can get that as the Hermit, right? Staying on his own there in the snow. He's protected, no one's gonna find him. And nice, I love the color on this card. It's very soothing to me. We just had snow here the other day. I mean, it's melted now because then we had sun right afterwards. But in Utah, you do get some snow, so. The Hoop Snake. Okay, that's a cool Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I can get a wheel out of that, right? That makes sense. Thunderbird, Leo, okay. That's where I feel like Justice is usually for me an air sign card. So it could be that that other one also was not the corresponding sign. It wasn't Gemini maybe, because I felt like Gemini, like I said, has more to it. Well, no, I'm looking on my thing here, and that one does look like what Gemini looks like for the Gemini card. But Leo, I know that up there is Leo. And this is more of a scales, right? Obviously, with the Justice scales. So Libra. But a very cool looking card. I love this transition in the sky here. I love the little silhouettes. Very similar to some of my paintings. And this bird, beautiful. This, okay, the Hanged Man, we're seeing that, right? He's upside down there. He's just getting beamed out right in the middle of his yoga pose, so guess he's not living here anymore. This is the Wendigo. Okay, very nice. I love this. Is the 13 in the box art, the inside box, so kind of neat for me always to find a 13. I was born on Friday the 13th, so I do love the 13, even though people think it's, death, but I'm not all that, into that. Once again, Scorpio. And that is the fitting sign for the 13th, so that's cool. See, that's going to be a little bit of a bridge for me, at least. If I don't quite get it, I can look at this and say the Loch Ness Monster, that must be Sagittarius there. And looking on this here, yes, it does kind of look like that symbol right there. So that could be helpful. Loch Ness is a nice one, isn't it? Everyone knows Loch Ness. Nain Rouge, the devil, okay, sure. And that is Capricorn, so it is matching. Here again with the tower. The Silver Bridge, ooh, that's going to be a fun one to read, I think. That's going to be a nice little read on what this card is trying to tell us. The Star. Okay, we do have Aquarius and another one there. I don't exactly know what that is. I feel like that could be another hunter that goes out hunting with Aquarius or something, if I remember something I've read before, but I have no idea. It certainly doesn't look like Sagittarius, because we just saw Sagittarius. Here, this I think is Cancer, which would make sense, or Pisces. Let's take a little look here. Yeah, that's Pisces. Sorry, I thought that looked like a water sign, but yeah, Pisces. So there you go. Really weird looking, isn't it? That is weird. The Anunnaki. Okay. And that would make sense to be... which one? I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research, because that's two different star signs and neither of them is looking familiar to me. Here, the Men in Black. Now that's interesting, isn't it? The Hollow Earth. Okay. instead of the world, right? The world is the earth, the hollow earth, and then we got 4 signs in the 4 corners. Once again, those 4 corresponding ones. Now that's pretty neat. I do like that. I like the imagery. Okay, and getting right into knockers. What do we think? I mean, we can tell already here from the fires, the fire signs in the air, that this is going to be the ace of knockers. Is going to be wands, right? And I guess you can tell he's holding a wand. Yeah, that makes sense. So he's holding two knockers. 3 knockers. Okay, I could actually almost see the 3 of wands there. You know, it's got a little bit of different imagery, and it is looking almost like it's like the same kind of scenery, the same thing going on. It doesn't connect. That would be neat, but it doesn't need to. But yeah, same here again. Look at these cards. They're very much all this same forest, right? There's all these things going on in this forest. It's like we're following the whatever it is. In this case, knockers. I don't know, is that supposed to be Bigfoot? I think so. So it's just like the whole suit is all about, can we find Bigfoot? And then here in the 8, 9, 10. Well, in the 8, you get a big close-up of him running away. 9 and 10, he's further away again. So, okay, I see. And it's always having the same. See how it's those cards in the middle, they're Leos, then they're all having that same. Okay. Okay, and then we got, for each suit, they have the fan instead of the page. We have the hunter instead of the knight. And then we have the advocate instead of a queen, and the skeptic instead of the king. He is skeptic of those knockers. And the ace of portals, so we're already in the next one here. The water signs. Portals are water signs. Okay. But I think that's a fun little contribution there. What does it say? Professional Bigfoot lover. How about that, huh? Okay. Here. Okay, we can really get the vibe for water with portals. However, I must say that it is very, yeah, it's over and over the same stuff, right? So these are a little bit repetitive after a while. It is, I saw it was Pippish, and I did want to get a little bit into Pips. Then it's fun to look at these. Fan of portals, hunter of portals, advocate of portals, and the skeptic. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting idea here with these. So we'll go through these suits a little faster. Ghosts is going to have gravestones for the most part. Okay, look, this one's got a little something different going on. I like the ghost suit. And we can see ghosts as air signs. Makes sense, right? It's like you're literally looking at air because it's nothing there. They're ghosts. Okay. And what do we have? She's a fan. Hunter. Oh, I think my camera's about to cut out. I gotta hurry here. So, advocate and skeptic. And last we have the saucers. Another very fun little, okay, this one's going to be the ground signs. And here we are. Aliens, am I right? Aliens. Okay, and once again, fan, hunter, advocate, and the skeptic. Kings being skeptics, I like that. That's going to be very fun. It's going to be interesting to discover. So let me know if you've seen this deck before. If something completely new, let me know what you think about it. Leave a comment, please. Like and subscribe, and have a good evening, and come back for more.